My karaoke song.
What's your karaoke song?
Bust a Move.
Bust a Move. Okay.
Or Rapper's Delight.
This is true. I don't know what my karaoke song would be.
One would say Love is an Open Door from the Frozen movie.
It is a vibe lately. The King kiddos have been a bit obsessed.
What is your go-to karaoke song? I feel like it says a lot about a person. Like,
I've never done karaoke.
You've never done karaoke?
Never, ever have I ever done karaoke. So I don't know what my karaoke song would be.
Wow.
It's got to be like something you know all the words to.
Yeah. But also it's got to be like a vibe.
It's got to be something people would also enjoy.
Or just
singing.
like a...
Like I couldn't just pick like a random
ballad.
Coldplay song, you know?
Yeah, no, that's not karaoke.
I couldn't do Nickel Creek because that's not really karaoke. So it's like,
and like
all my favorite songs aren't karaokeable. So what is karaokeable?
I don't know. You need to figure that out for you.
I do need to figure that out. What is your karaoke song? I'd be curious to know what everybody's karaoke song. I would love.
That's
that's what we need to do in React Miami. We need to go do
I
karaoke
don't need
with
to
a
do
bunch of people.
karaoke with other people that I don't know.
Yes, because by the end of the night, you'll know all of them.
No.
I did one
of those like rent the room things with like a bunch of friends, and that was super fun.
It would be so fun with people at React Miami. It could be a good time. You just gotta have no shame.
It's a hard pass.
I don't know. You don't have any problem with putting me out there shamefully.
You knew when you decided we were a thing that all is fair.
All's fair
in love and war.
Roasting, apparently. Apparently there are no rules.
There are no rules. You're such a good sport. So.
I am. Well, it helps that I have, zero.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Shame. Yeah. No shame. None whatsoever. But
it's all fair.
It is fair. It is fair. And Love is an Open Door is the kids' favorite song because we went to Disney.
We did.
And we went to a Frozen sing-along show. We did. And that was awesome. It was a great time. So now the kids are
had a great time.
Obsessed. I did.
He sang all the songs.
I sang all the songs. I had Palmer in my lap. It was awesome. But in this episode 22 of Strong Opinions Weekly Held, you cannot call it the No One Cares podcast.
We can call it the One Person Cares.
Anyway, we'll get to that. This is episode 22 of the Strong Opinions Weekly Held podcast. This is my lovely
I do feel like
wife,
we need
Allison.
to workshop that title.
No.
What was that noise?
I just had to clear my throat.
Okay.
Also, we're a little squatty. We need to pump it up. You need to sit up straight. Say it with your chest, as they say.
Oh, pass. Thank you.
Let's do it. Disney trip.
Disney.
We
did it.
The Kings. Me, Allie. Our 5-year-old, Palmer. Our 2-year-old.
3-year-old.
Our 3-year-old, Wilson. And our 1.5-year-old, Davis, went to Disney last week with my parents.
Yeah. That's what I say. There is
very important
giant asterisk there that it was not just the two of us with the 3 kids. We also had Will's parents go with us.
Yes.
Which is 95% of why it was so successful.
I would agree. I really think
when your kids are that little.
We're going to do a retro, as they say. A retrospective. It's like a little disco retro. No, it's a term, a business term that just means like we're going to look back on the trip and we're going to review it. What went well, what didn't go well.
Okay. All right.
And what
went.
And let's start it with ranking the trip. What did you think going into the trip out of a scale of like 0 to 10 that the trip was going to be? 0 being like it was awful, it was not worth the money, we had a terrible time. 10 being that was the best trip we've ever been on. Could not wait to do that again. Perfect.
I'll be honest.
Before you went, what did you think?
Before we went, I expected like a 5.5.
Okay.
I'm not typically the one that's like, I want to be in a super crowded space or like being in a car for a very long time. Like those are definitely not my vibes. And like, we also have the philosophy of like, this was never a vacation and we knew it wasn't going to be. And so It
Why don't you
was
Why don't you
just
talk a little bit more about that? What do you mean it's not a vacation?
thank you with the hard hitting questions there, Mr. King. Um,
It's a podcast. You got to have some kind of questions,
yeesh.
right?
No, we just kind of had your. What
Just
are
keep
you
talking.
doing?
I'm gonna fix this. There we go.
Now your head's chopped off.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm just right at the top.
No, we have this philosophy of anywhere we go with the kids on like a trip, it's not a vacation. It's just an adventure. It's
Right.
parenting in another location, but like
Yes.
yes, the kids we use the term vacation, but like
Sure, when we're
if
talking to the kids.
I went into the
Right.
mindset of like, oh, this is a vacation where we are relaxing or taking some time off. Like, let's
We
be
will
honest, that's
To
not.
me, a vacation is you come back more rested
Yeah.
than when you left.
This was definitely not
And
that.
any trip with children especially of the young variety,
Yeah.
you come back more exhausted. So
sure.
we instead decided to reframe
Yeah,
the trips
it's like a
with children
mindset.
as adventures because
are.
they're super fun. You make a ton of memories, but like you just can't go into it thinking like you're going to be well rested.
Yeah.
Like it's like, no, we're doing this because we're trying to purposefully make a new memory, something exciting,
For sure.
some family bonding with the kids, even if it might require a little bit more out of us.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
And vacations are
adventures
reserved for us.
Adventures versus vacations.
Yeah.
We take vacations. Next month, the Kings will be taking a vacation to Miami. And it's going to be awesome.
I don't know if you guys know this, and I'm contemplating getting Will a shirt made that says, I'm going to Miami because
I've never been to
literally
Miami
that's all
before.
you talk about.
Look,
Oh, well,
the mozzarella sticks.
I don't care. I
it's
just
Cuban
get to have
sandwich.
like a space and quiet to
This
myself.
is true.
But no, Disney was.
bet
I did not go.
We'll
you're
get a
getting
fancy dinner.
sidetracked.
Sorry. It's just
I did not go in with the
vacation-ish.
highest of expectations. Like I intentionally kept them very low.
If you have been listening to the podcast for a while, that is not a surprise at all.
Just
Allie
that way you can be
intentionally
pleasantly
keeps
surprised.
Allie keeps her expectations very low for things so she can be delighted by how they turn out.
For sure.
Well, okay. I would say mine was probably a 7.
Oh.
I'd been to Disney plenty of times growing up, and I had very fond memories of it. I knew my parents would be there, so I was like, it won't be that bad.
No.
But I'd maybe bump it down to a 6, factoring in the car ride, because our youngest, Davis, he is 1.5. He does not know words yet. But what he does know is that when he wants something, he can just scream at the top of his lungs.
And it's not a cry.
And
it's not a cry. It's a
No,
a
it's like it's
scream.
not like a I'm upset, like boo-hoo. No, it's like a you better get what I want now scream. And he's like figured it out. Like it's a specific pitch every single time that is just piercing.
like-
it is awful.
You kind of squint your eyes.
Yeah, you
and
squint
it's-
your eyes. It's so bad.
But
So I was expecting, due to car rides, that things were going to be rough. But all right.
we left Sunday.
Before we dig too deep, what would you say was your rating after the trip?
Oh, after?
Yeah, like how overall, before we dig into details, let's
I
just go
would
ahead and give
say-
everybody the over under.
I'm going to go a 9. I mean,
A 9?
a 9. All things considered,
snap.
with a 5'3" 1-year-old.
Uh-huh.
Well, a large part of that is because there were 4 adults,
There
so
were.
it was always a lot of trading off, or if somebody wasn't,
Let me tell you,
that was great.
it would have been so
But-
much harder.
I think what made it a 9 was we were very prepared. Like car ride, we were about as prepared could be.
Let me tell you.
And then we get there and there's the excitement. And I mean, everybody said it would be magical, but like it was,
Right. Until you see it, until you like
truly-
watch your kids experience it.
it was awesome.
You don't get it.
So there was a couple teary moments from Mom of Palmer seeing the Disney princesses and when she was in the Frozen sing along and
Oh my goodness,
Let
that
It
got
Go
some
is
tears. That got some tears from me
belting
as well.
and bubbles are falling and she's just
Oh my goodness, she was
singing.
having the
there
time
was
of
no
her
way
life.
that I wasn't gonna cry, and
No,
so
it was the sweetest moment
and
ever. You could see the magic just filling her. She was just like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing in my entire life."
And then the 3 Wilson loved it, and then Davis really loved it. I'll be honest, I did
All
not
right, let me say,
expect
like
Davis to really.
the underdog was Davis. He loved
Yeah.
the rides,
Mhm.
like
That he
the
could
kid
do, the
rides,
little
like
baby ones.
Dumbo and Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride. He did Teacups. It's a Small World.
I
There's
feel
a
like
bunch of
this is
these.
getting down to like a Disney niche podcast. I'm gonna need us to
All right, well, I mean,
just
we'll go through
feels
it. We'll go through it. But
okay.
like he loved it. Kept calling it Bumbo, the
Bumbo.
cutest thing ever. And he would say ride, and then he'd get over there and he'd go wee, like
Or
the
like,
cutest little wee,
yeah.
and be like, "Do you want to go on a ride?" Yeah, and it was
He's
just
so
like
cute.
incredible. He was just so into it. It was so awesome.
But I also think the success of the trip was, I am not one to put the pedal to the metal and just gas our
I would
children
say,
out.
okay, so let's just break down. You said it was a 9.
Yeah.
I would say it was also a 9. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10.
No.
I think there are better trips. I think like a trip to like a all-inclusive resort
Okay.
where there's like water slides,
Yeah.
that would
We're
be
not there yet.
probably a 10. But there's some downsides, but I would say
There's room for improvement
room for
for sure.
improvement. 9 out of 10. 100% 9 out of 10. And I think there are a few key reasons why. Reason number 1, 4 adults, 3 kids. The kids were outnumbered. Very helpful in a few specific occasions. One, if we needed to go on like a ride with Palmer, the older child, we had help watching boys. There's like ways that you can do like trade-off and stuff, but like we didn't even have to worry about it. We didn't have to think about it. If Palmer wanted to go on a ride, we could just be like, can y'all deal with the boys? And we just get to go have this like special moment with Palmer. 2, meals. Meals are
Oh,
no
yeah.
joke in Disney. Like sometimes you can get right up to the front, get what you want, and get back to the seats. But other times you're like there for like 30 to 40 minutes sometimes, just stuck in a line because it just has some specific order or they're like upset and like things just take a while.
There was
And
one of those.
There was. And like while one of us, which is usually me, is ordering the food to bring it all to the table, everybody else has to be like, you have to go find a table and squat the table so that like you have somewhere to sit to eat. And then you're stuck there trying to wrangle 3 children. And if it had just been Allie, Davis was just like, he would just like get there and then like wander off. So having adults at like meal times was super important. And then I think just having them there in general.
Yeah, and there was always just an extra set of
There's
hands.
always
to
extra
help.
hands. And I think really that's what allowed us to partially. So like 1, 2. Number 3 is what Allie was about to get to, which is we went into it specifically saying this is not for us. And I think that's a hard thing for, I think, a lot of people to do because you're spending a lot of money to go to Disney and to be like, I'm not worried about riding all the rides I want to.
Yeah.
You're like purely focused on the kids. And not only are you only focused on the kids, you're also not like, let's squeeze every ounce of everything that we could possibly get out of this trip. We purposefully were like,
What they don't know.
they don't
They
won't
don't
hurt
know.
them. So we did whatever was easiest. We had lightning passes that let us like get through the lines quickly. If we didn't have a lightning pass and it was a longer wait, we just didn't do it. We just didn't do it. And once you like use up your lightning passes, you can get more. And surprise, for the little kid rides, it was pretty easy to get more lightning passes. So it was like super easy. We just like got to ride all the rides the kids were liking
That they were loving, yeah.
a bunch. And then we would leave around like right after we got food for lunch. We'd head back to the hotels during the hottest part of the day. Let the kids get a
Nap.
little nappy. And we'd either spend afternoon in the pool or we would go back to a park and like enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, just kind of let them take the
And
lead on the back
super-
half of the day.
Let them pick like where do you want to go to the pool? Do you want to go to a park? What ride do you want to ride? Like we were not like we didn't wake up every day. We knew we had a park that we were going to, but we didn't wake up every day and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
And like in this order, we're gonna make sure we get to this thing on this time. It was just kind of like whatever, super chill.
Yeah.
And it was super great.
It was super great.
It was. Oh.
And having them be as rested as they could have been, like obviously there are I'm tired meltdowns, and that was normal.
Let me tell you,
I mean,
bedtimes at night were rougher than normal.
We were tight quarters.
Tight, a little tight, a little tight.
And then, all 3 of them were sharing a space.
A space.
And so
Yeah.
Our
Which they did surprisingly
they
well
did. I laughed
for
when
not for all having their own rooms in our house and like never interacting together
at bedtimes
at
and stuff.
bedtimes and stuff. Like,
I laughed
whoa,
though when we got home.
very
Palmer
surprising.
gets her blankets and she tucks herself in and she was like, "I'm in my bed,"
Yeah,
and the boys are in their
yeah,
rooms.
you can tell
Oh my
Palmer
God.
is very much a like
Retreat, recharge.
anxious spirit. Yeah,
Yeah.
like not because she just has anxiety, but because I think she feels like she needs to be like a little mama. So like, you know, when we put them in there, like the whole idea is like you need to be quiet, you need to get some sleep, you don't need to bother each other. And so the way she heard that is, well, I need to, but I also need to make sure Wilson is and like he's 3. So
She
so
would just
like
be like,
she would
Wilson needs water.
Wilson, yeah, she was like, Mom, Dad, Wilson is thirsty. He needs some water. Wilson, hush. You know, like you'd hear her like talking to him, like, Wilson, you need to be quiet. You know, like
David's just trying to sleep.
Right. So like you could tell she never got to shut her brain off.
Yeah.
And like by the time we got home, she was just like, everybody get away. Like,
It's so
I
funny.
need some space.
I don't think we've even had a chance to talk about this.
Yeah.
And so I would say, you know, we were there. We rode in the car Sunday. We're in the parks Monday through Thursday, and we drove back Friday. And we got home later Friday night or Friday evening. Saturday was a day of Disney hangover.
Oh,
And
it was bad.
Everybody
For
was
everybody.
melting.
For everybody.
Everybody was tired.
I thought we'd got a lot of, I was like, man, I'm pretty rested. Like we were
Yeah.
driving home and I was like, that wasn't bad. I feel great.
Yeah.
Like I could do that again. Like
Yeah.
we could have stayed a couple more days.
Everybody was crying
we
on
woke up
Saturday.
we woke up Saturday and we're like,
We tried to go to like the local deli for breakfast that it's like a really easy,
Oh, yeah.
like the kids know what they want. And I just remember looking at Will like halfway through that breakfast and being like,
we need to get back to our house and we
we've
need
got
to
go
like,
lock all the doors.
yeah, like
Nobody
every-
leaves.
no,
Like we're just,
it was bad. We were all falling apart.
yeah, but it was really fun. Good.
Still
good
recovering,
times.
honestly.
Yeah.
It was a fun time, but it was a
It was
lot.
tiring.
It was a lot. But it was a great trip.
It was a good trip. We watched some basketball.
That was fun.
That was fun.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
We're in the Sweet 16. We got to watch the game. We got the kids to kids into their like naps just in time for us to be able to watch the game on Thursday.
Yeah.
Trip, the car rides. I think the car rides were the toughest part of the whole thing, honestly.
I
And
would
they
say
weren't
the
even that
second
bad.
car ride. The first one was not bad.
Second car ride, I mean, first car ride was all right. It had some ups and downs. Like the time that I got Play-Doh for the kids. You know, Allie was like, we're really well prepared.
Oh.
Like we've got all these things for the kids to do in the car. I went to the store and I was like, oh, it's Play-Doh. Like, let's get the kids Play-Doh. They can play with it. We got cookie sheets for them to put in their lap. They can play with their Play-Doh.
Magnets on it.
They could do magnetiles. They could do Play-Doh. Both of them are like, let's kick the trip off with our Play-Doh. That sounds great. And I'm like, whatever. Like, whatever makes you happy. We got 7 hours. Like, let's just get started right away. They open their Play-Doh and dump it out. And it is not Play-Doh. It is slime.
I got a new car a couple months ago, and
Yeah,
these jokers have slime in the back seat.
And if any of y'all have ever like let your kids play with slime or seen kids playing with slime or made slime when you were a kid, like it is goopy. And Allie I could see Allie just sitting back there the whole time, just like, I'm gonna kill you. Like if any of this slime gets on any of my car and I can't get it out.
It's just gonna be your problem.
It turned out fine.
It was fine. It was great. Palmer was.
Wilson only played with it the one time and didn't want
And
to
he
touch it
didn't really
again.
love it.
He
He
didn't
was
really
not
like
about
it.
it.
Palmer was very into it, but she was very good at keeping it on the cookie sheet. And it ended up not being super sticky.
No,
So,
it's good.
yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Will drove the whole way, and I sat in the back seat, so I was doling out. And
I was the chauffeur, and she was the entertainment, mainly for Davis.
yeah,
And I think it was good in one
be
sense.
really
it was good
honest.
because he got a lot of training in not screaming at
if
us.
anybody has stuck around this long to hear us debrief this vacation, you deserve a coffee on the Kings
Look,
or something.
All right,
Like,
listen.
the fact that you're
People need
the
to
one
know.
person who's listening to this right now.
Okay, the one person. Which, all right, final note, and then we can wrap up talking about Disney. It's just like you got to talk about it because, like, what if somebody else is considering going to Disney, and this helps them decide that they
what
should?
If we said that was I mean, okay.
Because we said we thought it was gonna not be that great, and then it was incredible.
Okay.
And you're like a big Disney hater before this.
I'm not a hater.
You are a known Disney disliker,
Oh my word.
much like Aaron Francis. Aaron Francis is like, I will not be caught dead going to Disney World.
I mean, do I have a desire to like super go again? Probably not.
Like,
no,
do I consider myself a Disney
nice.
adult? Like, do I consider myself a lover of Disney World? No. But was it magical for the children? And,
it was very
and
sweet
manageable.
to see it for the kids.
It was
yes.
If you do the trip right, which is what we're sharing, it can be very manageable and great for kids if you have grandparents that can come with you. Yeah. So it was a good time.
If you've made it this far, we owe you something. I don't know what it is.
We don't owe anyone anything.
We owe him something.
She's writing checks we cannot cash.
Because
we have no sponsors. We have nothing. We cannot get you anything. Sorry. But thank you for listening.
I'll Venmo you money for a coffee.
Speaking of a listener, and the reason why we cannot call this the Nobody Cares podcast, other than shout out to the homie Jason Beggs, who is always telling us that he cares, ran into somebody that we know at Disney. I was walking through Magic Kingdom. We were coming back from riding the Barn roller coaster. I don't know what it's called, Barnstormer, I think, or something. It's like
that is literally irrelevant to the story.
It's one of the kids' roller coasters that Palmer loved. So like we didn't have the younger kids; they were with the grandparents. It was just me and Allie. Palmer was on my shoulders. We were walking back to meet them to do like one final ride in the evening. And who should I see coming down the way other than Ian Landsman? And he is like full dad mode. He's got his daughter, and he has got like the floppy sun hat, like the
gotta protect from
you do, but it was like full dad mode. He was like, I'm going full Disney, and surprisingly tall. I was not expecting Ian to be tall, and which is like funny because I'm tall. Like I'm 6'4", like so it's like I should just not assume people are short that I've only seen through video on the internet, because people do that to me all the time. So like,
people think you're short.
Oh yeah, like
really
the number of times where I like I mean, I think it's just like you can't. All right, look at this. Like, other than like being able to see that I'm like noticeably like bigger than you, like, but most of the times you're not on video with somebody else during like work or like stuff like that. So like people just assume you're not tall, because that's just like, I think people's natural assumption is like, why would they be tall? So like you get there and they're like, oh my goodness, why are you so tall?
Okay.
Anyway, saw Ian, surprised he was so tall. Chatted with him for a second. Ian looks at us and says, hey, love the podcast. Keep it up. Don't stop doing it.
Oh my. That was very sweet of him to say that.
It was very sweet. It was also great for my ego because we already know my head is already too big. But
I'm not convinced you didn't like
text them ahead of time and be like, hey, quick, walk by the
say this.
Nope. It was just a random happenstance.
No, it was very nice.
It was great. It was great.
Nice to
good to meet him. Good to see him. Good to introduce him to Allie and Palmer, who was on my shoulders at the time. Palmer was probably like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
But we have somebody who told us in person they listened to the podcast. That's a first.
So like one person cares.
One person cares. Thank you, Ian. I hope you continue to enjoy. If anybody else enjoys it, tell us why. I still don't know why people like it. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
because you're not really that likable, or no? I'm just kidding.
I think you're very likable. I think we are likable together.
I would hope so.
We got pretty good rapport. We got a good little tit for tat, but it's like we don't ever talk about anything that most people just like. We don't talk about things that all of us care about on Twitter
for 30 minutes.
Like we just ramble about our personal lives. And I guess if you're just like I guess like reality TV, I guess like it's interesting to hear about people's.
Some of the most boring reality TV there is.
It is very true. It is very true.
But yeah,
it was great.
Thank you for caring.
We will keep doing these, even if nobody cares, because we just enjoy doing it together. I'm not gonna lie. All right, you want a little behind the scenes?
What?
Every time we finish an episode, we sit here for like 5 to 10 minutes and watch little clips.
I scroll my phone while he edits them.
She's lying.
That's not.
She sits there and watches them and laughs and thinks that was a really good one, or like, oh, can you go to this part? I thought that was really good, and we like critique and review what we just did.
Big on the
so
critiques.
we really enjoy it. We enjoy doing it. So if you like it, great. If you nobody's listening, I think we would still keep doing it because I just enjoy this time with you.
That was really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
You're uncomfortable now.
I don't have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say? Disney was great. Way better than expected. We started soccer today.
We did start soccer.
That's a whole
today.
nother topic. I'm not going to get into it today because we're already 24 minutes in, and we generally
That's too much.
keep these things pretty
I know.
short. But
There's only one left.
remind me to talk to you about how much I love having a busy day and a busy schedule.
Ugh. Said no one ever.
It's not true. I love it, and I will tell you why in another episode. But that's it for tonight.
Hang on. One last thing.
I have ice cream waiting for us
Oh,
downstairs. We need some.
that calls for a little jig. Enjoy.
Bye.
Enjoy.
No.
That little.
Nope.
Hold it.
Nobody needs to see that. Bye.